So, walk us through your framework for incident response. How does thinking like a firefighter change the way you approach a security incident compared to traditional IR methodologies?
I would say that a lot of folks in the IR world are gonna find the principles that we use, fairly similar. There's been a lot of studies on this. Sands talked about it a long, long time ago. Again, the idea of the incident command system. So, establishing an incident commander, establishing certain key roles within the organization during the incident, and then following principles like management by objectives. So rather than just jumping in, you want to stop for a second. You want to appoint an incident commander. You want that incident commander to sit down and write some objectives. So when we're early on in the incident response process, the objectives are around understanding the scope of the incident. And then as we understand the scope, then those objectives shift towards containment, eradication, recovery. By going through that process and then briefing it out to everyone who's involved, we keep everybody on the same page. And then the other big thing that the emergency management world has is, a plans section. So the idea is you have someone who is writing down those objectives, keeping track of who's doing what, keeping track of that documentation, things like that. So we use inside command system position called a documentation unit leader, whose job it is to gather all the logs, make sure the case records are all updated, bring it all together, and then they're going to lead a lot of the reporting after the incident's over. We also have a what we call situation unit leader. So same concept. It's somebody who is looking at what's going on, keeping track of what has been done and what is currently in process so that as we divide and conquer, because if you get into a really complicated incident, you're going to need to spin different people off on different things. That person can provide situational awareness to the entire group by, receiving those updates in and then disseminating them back out. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting, but it's not real different than the way, a lot of folks operate. We still drive to containment. Our goal is when something happens as quickly as possible, understand the scope and then get into that containment phase as quickly as we can so that we can prevent action on our objectives.